All right, we're going to jump right into it. This is no BS, how to reverse type 2 diabetes in 60 to 90 days. And I'll show you just so you can see, I'll share my Instagram. So here's Brent. He reversed diabetes in 69 days. Let me show you a couple more real quick. Cedric, he's a trucker. So even a trucker who's on the road 11 hours a day can reverse type 2 diabetes in 26 days. Now, to be full honesty, that is my record. It's usually 60 to 90 days, but for him, it was 26 days. I mean, the list goes on and on. Here's Richard. He's 70 years old, and it actually took 70 days. And look at his stomach. I mean, if you notice each one of these people, their bodies look completely different. Everybody is on no medication, complete diabetes reversal. A1C is perfect. In fact, I'll just show you right here. Also, I really actually post people's A1C. I hate when people do these like claims and then they don't show their A1C. They don't actually show what's going on with their real blood tests. And I always do with these guys. So I'll show you, boom, A1C, perfect. So, okay, let's get started right away. Now, I want to just clear up some stuff because I see everybody out there making these claims, and I swear to God, it makes me sick to my stomach of parasites, inflammation, trying to do these like $1,000 blood tests so they can sell you their supplements for the rest of their life. It's either doctors trying to keep you sick because they make 80% of their income from diabetes and they do not want to cure you because, I mean, look, if you know if you did a good job with people and you made them better, you go out of business the next month, of course you're not going to want to cure people. And then you have these like BS people out there trying to sell fake supplements, teas, all this just it's total BS. And you'll see as I start to show you the real stuff, it'll be so obvious to you why it's BS. And you'll also see why it's crazy that your doctor did not tell you about the glycemic index and how to use it. I think any doctor should have his license pulled immediately if they give you drugs for diabetes and don't have you sign a paper explaining exactly how the glycemic index works, what number to stay below, and how to make it a fun lifestyle. But I'm going to do all that in this call. We're just going to jump right into this. So there's three ways your blood sugar level can be elevated. Now, your whole world revolves around your blood sugar levels being elevated. If your blood sugar levels were perfect, you don't have diabetes anymore. So I'm going to give you the three ways. There's not four ways. There's not five ways. There's literally three ways. Now, the first way, please forgive me because I know you already know this. It's so obvious, but I'm not teaching you anything new with the first way. The second two, I probably will be showing you something new, but I have to mention it because it's one of the ways. So the first way of the three ways to have your blood sugar elevated, keeping you diabetic, is of course eating actual sugar and adding sugar to your bloodstream. External sugar, you eat it, adds it to your blood sugar goes up. I'm not teaching you anything new. Now, the second way is you eat foods that trigger the release of glycogen. What glycogen is sugar that's stored in your cells. So it goes like this. When sugar is outside of your body, it's called sugar. When it's in your bloodstream, it's called glucose. When it's stored in your cells, it's called glycogen. And when you eat certain foods, and there's thousands of these foods, it makes all your cells start to release glycogen in your bloodstream. And I'll give you an example of that. If you eat white rice and you've checked your blood sugar levels and you notice they're really high, there's zero sugar in white rice. Sugar, it stimulates your cells to release glycogen, and that's why. Now, it's not just carbs, like carbs. There's many ingredients that do this. Cassava, tapioca, maltodextrin, maltose. There's thousands of words that you never even heard of, and we're going to get into all those on this call, I promise you. And the third way, it's spontaneous glycogen release. So, have you ever taken your blood sugar levels in the morning? You haven't eaten for 8 hours, but yet your blood sugar is elevated. And you're like, I don't understand what's going on. Or just randomly throughout the day. Sometimes you eat foods and your blood sugar doesn't go up that much. Other times you eat the same food and it goes through the roof. It's because when you have a lot of glycogen that's stored, you could get spontaneous glycogen release. It almost always happens after you haven't eaten for a while. That's why in the morning your blood sugar levels are high, but it could happen any time of the day. So those are the three ways. And if you adjust all those three ways, you don't eat the external sugar, you avoid foods that release glycogen, and I will show you later how to deplete your stored glycogen. At that point, even if you're still insulin resistant, it wouldn't even matter because your blood sugar levels would be perfect. They could not be elevated. And even if your insulin isn't like full power, it's just like operating at like 50%, that would still be enough to keep you perfectly fine if you're eating the correct way. Now, what's really important is I am going to go through a diet, not your diet, but someone who sent their diet in. I'm going to go through it and show you how to use the glycemic index to completely reverse diabetes in 60, 90 days. So let's go right back to why I was saying it's crazy for your doctor not to explain the glycemic index. So I'm going to just Google search it for you so you can see exactly what the glycemic index is. I'm going to type in what is the glycemic index, which is crazy if you do not know what this is. All right, here we go. The glycemic index is a measure of how quickly a carbohydrate containing food raises blood sugar levels compared to glucose. Now, I hate how it says carbohydrate containing food. And I actually wrote about it in my book, The Three. I wrote how like it shouldn't say that carbohydrate containing food thing, because the reason why is because everything has a glycemic index rating. Fat, protein, meat, carbohydrates, maltodextrin, it doesn't matter what it is, everything has a number. And like not understanding the glycemic index is like if you had a stack of money and you didn't know what the numbers meant, then you just have a bunch of pieces of paper. So you'd pay $100 for a pack of gum, or you try to buy a car for $1. It's like they're just pieces of paper. What makes those pieces of paper different is the number value on it. And that's the same with the glycemic index. So you're looking at food like the words, like sugar is a word or broccoli is a word, but every food has a number that represents how fast your glucose rises. So when your glucose rises faster than your body could utilize it, your body has to release insulin to clear it because it's excess glucose. You did that too much and became insulin resistant, and now you have this problem, which is why you're on medication. So let's go ahead and go through a diet right now that someone sent in, and we'll do it going through the glycemic index. So basically, this is the diet right here. I'm just going to go over foods, and hopefully some of this stuff is stuff that you eat and you could totally relate, and you could see where you're making mistakes right now. So here we go. The first thing is it's coffee with stevia in the raw. Now, this is where it's going to get crazy. What is the glycemic index of stevia? So the glycemic index of stevia is 0, as you can see right here, which is great. That means it has 0 effect on blood sugar whatsoever. Okay, but I'm going to come back to stevia in the raw for a second. But first, I'm going to type in what is the glycemic index of white sugar. So white sugar is like regular sugar. Okay, white sugar is 65. I want you to remember the number 65. Do not forget that. It's going to be like a reference point to compare everything to that number, just so you could like really visualize this. So, all right, remember stevia is a 0. Now watch this. Watch this. This is where I'm going to blow your mind. What is the glycemic index of dextrose? Now I'm going to show you why I'm showing you this. Oh my gosh, the glycemic index of dextrose is 100. Remember, table sugar is 65. Dextrose is through the roof at 100. It even says it right here. Look, table sugar is 65. Dextrose is 100. Now watch. What happens to blood? I'm going to show you something in a minute. It's going to blow your mind. Sugar when you eat dextrose. Now, I'm going to show you something in a second here. Look, dextrose should be carefully given to people with diabetes because they might not be able to process dextrose as quickly as someone without the condition. Dextrose can increase blood sugar too much, causing what's known as hyperglycemia. So, I mean, it's like crazy, right? It spikes your blood sugar. Look, glucose, also known as dextrose, immediately raises blood glucose levels because it's already in the form of sugar in your brain. Your brain and cells recognize and require this for energy, making it the most rapidly absorbed source of carbohydrates. Okay, so watch. Now, this is why I'm showing you all this. Watch this. I'm going to look at ingredients. Now, remember, stevia is fine. It's a 0. But what are the ingredients of stevia in the raw? And this is why if you don't have the glycemic index, it's like walking through a landmine field without a landmine detector. So I'm going to try to zoom in on this so you can see it. See this out? It's stevia in the raw. You get it at Whole Foods. What is the first? Ah, it's so hard to do this. What is the first ingredient? Right here. Did you see that? Oh gosh, it's so hard to do this for some reason. The first ingredient is dextrose. Oh my gosh. So you're telling me they're trying to sell something off as raw stevia, calling it stevia in the raw, and it's really made with dextrose. And this is why, like, as a diabetic, if you don't know the glycemic index, you're walking out into a landmine field. You're getting blown up every day. And your doctor's like, see you in 3 months and we'll check your A1C and maybe increase your medication. So, this particular brand is made with dextrose. That's why I would never use this. And none of my coaching clients would ever use this because I would let them know what's going on. So that's this person. They're drinking that first thing in the morning, and then they have a breakfast muffin. So let's look this up. What's the, I'm going to say GI for glycemic index of a breakfast muffin? Let's see. Numbers don't lie. Okay, wait, let me go into all so that it's okay. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Are 50 to 70 on the glycemic index. All right. So they go all the way up to higher than table sugar. Now, this person also has instant oatmeal. So what's the GI of instant oatmeal? What's the GI of instant oatmeal? Oh my goodness. Do you remember table sugar is 65? Straight glucose is 100. Instant oatmeal is 79 to 83. So then you're thinking, well, what about regular old-fashioned oatmeal? Well, let's look. What is the glycemic index of just oatmeal? Let's see. The glycemic, here we go. Steel cut, 42 to 53. Regular oatmeal ranges between 56 and 69. Remember, 65 is table sugar, and instant oatmeal, 79 to 83. So for those of you who think oatmeal will reverse your diabetes, woo, you're really wrong. And if you're having coffee with stevia in the raw, good luck. All right, so now this person, for fruit, they eat blueberries and watermelon. So now let's look this up. What is the GI of blueberries? So blueberries are a 53 on the glycemic index. And like I tell my coaching clients, if you got hit by a car at 65 miles per hour versus 53, do you really know the difference? You're in the hospital either way. Do you see how this has nothing to do with inflammation or some mysterious parasite or tease or anything? I mean, when they talk about supplements reversing diabetes, that's like me saying, wax gets your car super shiny. But what happens if you put wax on a dirty car? It does nothing. It just moves the dirt around. And that's what these supplements do to a dirty diet. They're lying. So watch this. This person also eats watermelon. So hold on to your seats here. What is the GI of, I bet you're going to be shocked at this one, watermelon? Oh my gosh. The glycemic index of watermelon is 72 to 76. That's higher than table sugar. Like, this is insane. And I've seen doctors and these quote unquote nutritionists recommend that people with diabetes have watermelon, which is crazy. All right, this person also eats pizza. Now, I didn't tell you this, but after I show you all the bad stuff, I am going to show you how I reduce, listen to this, how I reverse diabetes in all those people eating pizza, cake, ice cream, cookies, chips. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. Well, I'll prove it to you ingredient by ingredient after we get done with this, because it's one thing if I show you what not to eat and say, oh, if you just had boiled chicken and broccoli, you're going to be great. Nobody's going to do it. But if I say you could reverse diabetes, make it the most fun lifestyle ever, eating pizza, cake, and ice cream, okay, now we're talking. That's what I'm going to show you next. So let's go, and I'm going to share my screen again. What is the GI of pizza? Don't forget, I'm going to show you how you could eat real pizza. Okay, watch this. Pizza goes all the way up to 60 on the glycemic index. So pizza and table sugar are pretty much the same thing. Now, this person also eats steak and potatoes. What's the GI of a baked potato? Okay, the glycemic index of a baked potato is 77 or higher with sometimes a baked potato goes up to 95 to 111. Don't forget, table sugar is 65. So you might be saying, what about a sweet potato? That should be fine, right? How about sweet potato? Let's put it in here. Let's see. Okay, the glycemic index of a sweet potato, oh my gosh, if it's roasted, it goes all the way between 80 and 94, and boiled is 46 to 50. But this is crazy, right? Okay, oh, here you can see all the different ways of doing it. Boiled, 46 to 50, which is still too high for diabetics. Steamed, 63 to 66. Baked, 88 to 94. Roasted, 86. This is crazy. Okay, so okay, this person also eats dumplings. So let's just look that up. What's the glycemic index of dumplings? Dumplings, everybody. All right, are you guys learning? Are you learning stuff that you've never learned? Like already in just the first like 10 minutes, are you seeing like everything you've been told by your doctors or nutritionists or these people, these scumbags on the internet is not true? All right, dumplings. Oh my gosh. Dumplings are 86 on the glycemic index. This is crazy. And then there's just a couple more things. Hey, they also have hamburgers and fries. Listen, I asked this person to tell me the good, the bad, the ugly. I was like, tell me what you're eating when you're really trying hard. And then, when you're just getting frustrated, you're like, nothing's reversing my diabetes, nothing's helping. So today I don't even care. I said, tell me everything. So here's hamburger and fries. So let's look up what's the GI of a hamburger bun. Let's check it out. A hamburger bun is 61. Table sugar is 65. There's virtually no difference. And they also have fries. So let's look that up. Um, what is the glycemic index of fries? 75. Oh my gosh. Okay, so fries are 75. That's way higher than table sugar. And the last thing that they eat is tacos. And don't forget, I'm going to show you how to eat all this stuff. Here we go. Tacos. Oh my gosh. Tacos have a glycemic index of 70. So basically, I don't know how you eat. I don't know if these are some of the things that you're eating, but everything on this person's diet was either like very close to or much higher than table sugar. And after doing this for 30 years, what I find is all diabetics are eating foods similar to this. And a lot of people think they're eating healthy because of what they've heard, what a doctor told them, what some BS nutritionist told them. But when I show them the numbers, see, numbers don't lie. People lie. Numbers do not lie. You can't dispute what I just showed you. And this is why it's so easy for me to reverse diabetes. I mean, there's a very specific number to stay under on the glycemic index to reverse diabetes. It's divided into low, medium, and high. Low is not like if you just stay in the low range, you could get diabetes and you definitely won't reverse it. Low goes all the way up to 55. Table sugar is 65. And there's obviously a very specific number over the last 30 years. I discovered that over working with over 10,000 people that absolutely reverses diabetes. But now at least you know what's happening in your body. So, okay. So that's the bad stuff. So now we've addressed so far what's causing all the blood sugar issues, and it's not any BS that's out there. This is it. I mean, it's the most obvious thing. All this other make believe things, you can never prove it, and they know that, and that's why they're scamming you. So this is why I get the real results. And here we go. So now I'm going to show you my Instagram, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of the fun side of nutrition. All right, here we go. So let's go to my profile and let's just start looking at things. Okay. So obviously you're going to see a lot of transformations and before and after pictures. I also reverse blood pressure. A lot of people with diabetes have high blood pressure. Blood pressure is directly related to glucose. Like this is one of my coaching clients. He's 60. One thing you'll notice of everyone I coach, they get incredibly lean. All right. So he reversed high blood pressure in 30 days. I actually show his blood pressure is now without medication 107 over 66, 115 over 70. It's crazy. I mean, it's amazing. So, okay. Let me show you something. Let's scroll down. Okay. So I'm just going to go to random things. These are chocolate chip fat shred keto balls. So I'm not going to make you look up all the glycemic index numbers of everything. I'm just going to tell you, first of all, look at these. There's no way in a million years you would think that this was okay. Well, let's look at what I'm eating here. I made it with a half cup of peanut butter powder, glycemic index zero, 1/2 cup of plain Greek yogurt, glycemic index zero, powdered monk fruit instead of sugar, zero. And then I use different companies. One company I use is Lily's, another one is New Naturals, where they use organic stevia instead of sugar to sweeten chocolate chips and chocolate syrup, and they both have a glycemic index of zero. Literally, everything in this ingredient is pretty much a glycemic index of zero. That means you could eat these day and night and you would never have any blood sugar issues. I make all sorts of fun things, like very quickly I make like sushi rolls and stuff like that. But I want to show you the really fun stuff. This is a calzone that I made with my wife. It was pretty cool. It actually has a glycemic index of zero. And this reaction was real because it was the first time I tried this. And so the way I made it was I used ground chicken with a glycemic index of zero. I used bruschetta. You could use ground beef if you want. Both have a glycemic index of zero. As long as you use cream cheese with the correct ingredients, glycemic index of zero. Parmesan cheese, glycemic index of zero. And then I wish I could speed this up, but I can't. But I put it in the air fryer for 10 minutes. We made two because I really didn't want to share it with my wife. And when I took it out of the air fryer, this is what you get. Boom, you get this delicious calzone with a zero glycemic index. Now, just so you guys know, when you get cheese, this is crazy. I'm going to show you something real quick. Watch this. When you eat cheese, watch. I'll look up any cheese. Watch. I'll just go to any cheese. Shredded cheese. I'm going to show you what's really in shredded cheese and why you need to shred your own cheese. So let's pick any brand and I'm going to look at the ingredients and I'm going to tell you what makes cheese, what it takes it from something that has a zero on the glycemic index to something that is incredibly bad for you. If you notice in here, let's look together. Where is it? Where is it? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, tapioca starch and potato starch. You see right here, potato starch, and right here, tapioca starch. Okay. Now, they use that to keep the cheese from sticking together because if they don't put that in it, it becomes a block of cheese again when they ship it. So, watch this. What is the GI of potato starch? And by the way, tapioca starch is the same, but just watch. What's the glycemic index? 91 to 95 for potato starch. So they took cheese that has a glycemic index of zero and they made it into a horrible thing that has a glycemic index of ingredients of 95, which is almost pure glucose. And that's why you need to shred your own cheese. These are the things you need to know to reverse diabetes. It's easy when you get everything right. And I'm showing you right now how to make it into such a fun lifestyle. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Look how good this looks, this chocolate lava cake. What if I told you the glycemic index of sugar is 65, broccoli is 15, and this chocolate lava cake is a 5. So what do I use? I use almond flour, glycemic index of 5, whey protein, glycemic index of 5, egg, glycemic index of 0. And then I use Lily's chocolate chips sweetened with stevia and New Naturals chocolate syrup sweetened with stevia. Both have a glycemic index of 0, making this a glycemic index of less than 5, which is less than a piece of broccoli. You could have this every night before you go to bed, and your blood sugar levels would not be affected. And in fact, it would help you get lean. If you notice, everyone on my Instagram gets incredibly lean. Okay, I love pizza. Pizza's so good. Look at this pizza. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to pause it. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so like I said, when you have shredded cheese, like at a restaurant or at your house, it's coated with potato starch, which makes it through the roof. That's why when we looked at pizza, it was 60 to 80 on the glycemic index. Well, I use almond flour with a glycemic index of 5, egg glycemic index of 0. I use a brand called Rayo's no sugar pizza sauce, glycemic index of 5 to 10, and I shred my own cheese, glycemic index of 0. And I get pizza like this with a glycemic index of about 5 that you could literally eat anytime you want. And not only do you reverse diabetes, but get incredibly lean doing it. Let's skip that one. Check this out. I'll show you this just really quickly. So this is cinnamon rolls with a glycemic index, believe it or not, of actually zero, which is just insane. I couldn't believe it. So watch, how do I do it? Look, I put the recipe right here. You can look up the glycemic index of everything. So I use a company called Egg Life Wraps. They make awesome, they're like flour tortillas, but they're a zero on the glycemic index, and they make cinnamon ones. So I use that for the dough. Cream cheese, melted butter, monk fruit, ground cinnamon, all zero on the glycemic index. And then for the frosting, I use whipped cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, vanilla extract, monk fruit, all zero on the glycemic index. This is a zero, guys. You could have this all day, every day. Me and my son and my wife made these. They were so fun to make and so good. See, actually, look, this is a video that I had done about stevia in the raw and how it's such a scam because you're really eating dextrose. You're not even eating stevia. So I was trying to warn people. All right, you like ice cream? I like ice cream. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this ice cream right here. And you notice I put all these before and after pictures over the ice cream. So I want you to like really see the ice cream, even see it without all the chocolate and everything on it. Let me show you what it looks like. Yum, it's just melting off. It's looking amazing. What if I told you you could eat this ice cream every single night and reverse diabetes and get incredibly lean? That's pretty crazy, right? So after I'm done showing all the angles of this amazing ice cream, I show it without anything on it. It's just crazy. So here's what's in it. All ice cream is, there it is. All ice cream is just dairy and sugar. So I use fat-free cottage cheese, whey protein, vanilla extract, unsweetened almond milk, Lily's no sugar chocolate chips, and New Natural's no sugar chocolate syrup. Everything with the glycemic index of 0 to 5. You could eat this ice cream all day long and have zero diabetes and get incredibly lean. So I'll show you a few more things that are kind of fun before we just go to the next step here. Look, this is the cover of my new book, guys. Woohoo! The Three. It's going to be a bestseller. My publisher is called Bestseller Publishing. Very soon it'll be a bestseller. Okay, so look at these nachos. Nachos with cheese and meat sauce. They look like it would be bad for you, but they're not. So what do I use here? There's a couple brands of pork rinds that are very clean brands. They're like light, fluffy, crunchy, buttery pork rinds. You know what the glycemic index of pork rinds are when they're made the right way? Zero. You know what ground beef is? Zero. Cheese that you shred yourself? Zero. The hot sauce that I use? Zero. Everything is big zeros on here, guys. You could have these nachos every night, have your pizza, have your nachos, have your ice cream, have your chocolate lava cake. I'm going to show you like one or two more things. Um, Check this out. These cookies look, okay, we're going to pause this. Look, imagine eating these cookies. You know how right now you feel so guilty eating these? Well, this is how I make it. Look, butter, monk fruit, egg, vanilla extract, almond flour, baking soda, cream of tartar, salt, and Lily's chocolate chips. There's a few other brands that I use, and walnuts. The glycemic index of everything on here is anywhere from 0 to 5. You could eat these chocolate chip cookies. The reason why cookies are bad, guys, is because of basically what it does to your blood sugar levels. So, okay. Now, the last thing, remember I told you there's three ways to raise your blood sugar levels: adding sugar, which I showed you how you wouldn't do that; eating foods that trigger glycogen release. How do you know those foods? Because you look at the glycemic index and you stay below the threshold that you need to stay below to reverse diabetes and not have that happen. And then the third way is spontaneous glycogen release. And I said we have to deplete the glycogen that's in your cells. I do that with a 36-hour fast, and I do it in a way where you're not hungry at all. And not only do you deplete your glycogen, because it's very easy to do if you know the protocol to do it, not only do you deplete your glycogen, but all of my coaching clients lose 2 pounds of actual body fat every single week on average from doing this fast. And that's why you see on my page just transformation after transformation, because everybody that I coach eats exactly like this. So who am I? How did I learn to do this? Well, back in, forever ago, I played football at University of Miami. When I was done, I was 300 pounds. I wanted to get lean for boxing. My friend had become a scientist, did his PhD dissertation on the glycemic index, insulin, and glucose, told me the exact numbers to use to get lean, which you see all my coaching clients. And I accidentally started reversing diabetes. I didn't even know what diabetes was 30 years ago. I'm 51 years old right now. Back in my 20s, people came to me to get lean. They happen to have diabetes and they were getting super lean, but also reversing diabetes. And it wasn't until I reversed like 300 people after like a year or like after like a few years. And then I really started to want to understand like what is diabetes. I thought it was just like a cold. You just get rid of it. And I didn't know that like people are really millions of people have this and like nobody's helping them and that doctors are incentivized to keep them sick and there's all these scams and it's all crazy. And so anyways, I reversed over 10,000 people of diabetes. I hope you learned more than you've ever learned. And now you have clarity of why you have this, why your blood sugar is elevated, how the glycemic index works. And so, in order to work with me and have me coach you, this is how I do it. I do a 3 month program. It takes 60 to 90 days to reverse diabetes, or in the case of Cedric, it took 26 days. But on average, it's like 60 to 70 days. The max it takes is 90 days. So I do a 3 month program. Now, a lot of people out there charge ridiculous amount. I've seen what's out there. They charge 20K for some BS. I could easily charge 30K because of my track record, but I wouldn't be able to work with everybody. I don't want just rich people to be able to reverse diabetes. Everybody should have this information. So I do it like this. I charge $1,200 for 3 months of coaching me, like one-on-one coaching you. Now, you might not have $1,200. I understand that. So what I'm going to do below is I'm going to put a special offer. It's going to be for the next 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, whatever I decide by the time you're seeing this video, that if you sign up now for my coaching and you want me to help you and you feel in your heart that I actually have the answer, I proved it to you on this webinar. You're looking at what you're eating. You're seeing the glycemic index. You're like, oh my God, Steve just blew my mind. And now you just need to know exactly how to do it so that you do it right. So you could actually not have diabetes ever for the rest of your life in the next 60 to 90 days. I'm going to let you break it up into either 3 payments or 6 payments. That means 3 payments of $400. So it's, 3 months apart, 400, 400, 400, or I'm even going to let you break it into 6 payments. If that's what you need, I'm okay with that. So even though it's a 3 month program, I'm going to let you break it into 6 months of payments of $200 a month. That means I'm going to give you 100% of the results before you even pay 50% of what you owe. Now, why am I doing it like that? Because I want to help you. I'm so like, I don't know if you ever hit a home run, but that feeling of hitting a home run is how I feel every time I get a text message with someone who says, Steve, guess what? My A1C is now perfect. I'm off all my medication and I no longer have diabetes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what I want to do for you, and I can't wait. If you got value out of this and you think I'm the guy to work for you or to help you, and you're searching for a solution and you finally found it and you're done with all the BS, teas and supplements and fake parasites, and you just want to use what I just showed you, I can't wait to work with you. And so basically what happens is you're going to click the link below, go ahead and fill out whatever payment, and then I will get notified, and then we will set up a one-on-one Zoom call. That's me and you having a discussion where I walk you through every single aspect of it. I will be watching your food logs and me personally. I don't have a team. I don't have people that you're going to talk to. You talk to me and me only. You will never talk to anyone but me. I hate when people do that. I am the expert. You will have my cell phone. You can text me any time of the day. You will never be lost, never be confused, and I will review your food log every single day to make sure you're doing it perfect and reverse your diabetes in the next 60 to 90 days. If that sounds good, click the link below, and I hope to see you soon.